How was the watch party yesterday, Bart, with you and Carlin in Hoboken?
Oh, it was dope, man. Listen, what a great game to have, though, too. The fact
Ecuador and Germany, right?
Yeah. Man. So Ecuador had to score 2 goals to be able to qualify. And then, early on, first 2-3 minutes, bam, scored by both sides. And then late, Ecuador gets the late goal and, advance. They +7, you know what I mean? And they held on. And, now they get the advance, which was a huge upset because I think they call, the German goalie, they call him the Terminator. He's like what's the guy from Mighty Ducks? The big
I don't remember the kid's name.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, way to mess it up.
Fulton Reed?
Icebox. Was it Icebox?
Was it?
It was something.
I'll take your word for it.
Just Icebox. For the good of radio, we'll just go Icebox and we'll go on right until somebody calls in and say
The Mighty Ducks, the big kid.
Yeah.
It was Fulton Reed.
What was his name?
That
Fulton
was
Reed.
his name, Fulton Reed.
Oh, I thought he had it. Oh,
No,
what?
Icebox was in Little Giants
Oh.
You're confusing sports movies.
That's my CTE. My bad.
because there was ice involved.
Yeah. So I hear Icebox. I'm thinking, oh, yeah, that definitely had to be hockey.
I meant to ask you this because obviously you played as a player, of course, on the MetLife turf.
Yeah.
Would it piss you off if you were an active player on the Jets or the Giants, seeing there's real grass for the World Cup, but you can't put that grass on there for the actual NFL teams who use the stadium?
Until you realize that FIFA was paying like $1 billion. I didn't realize when the fact that we have these huge NFL stadiums, most places have to build stadiums to have the World Cup, but the fact that we're in different countries, Canada, Mexico, and America, you know what I'm saying? They didn't have to do that. So I wonder how much of that extra money kind of went to using the stadiums that exist because clearly they had a budget. They have a budget. The countries have a budget to be able to build these stadiums. Because I think when it was in Saudi Arabia, right, I think they built 12 stadiums. And, when they leave, it's nothing else. They're just there.
It's like a lot of the Olympic sites over the years. There's nothing for the stadiums when they're done being used.
Yeah, exactly.
Just sit there.
So I wonder just how much money
But the Jets
MetLife
and the
is
Giants,
actually making, though.
They have the money if they really wanted to do it.
But to be
We're talking
fair,
about 2 NFL franchises in New York that share a stadium.
But to be fair, the Ravens get away with it, right? Because the Ravens have moved from turf to grass, and they figured out. And J.K. Dobbins hurt his Achilles on grass when they had grass. But the only pass I would give the Jets and Giants is the fact that somebody's going to be on that turf every week. Where in most places they get a chance to allow the grass to recover. They can have 2 games away, 2 home games away, and they can fix the turf. They can keep it up. But here, when the Jets and Giants are going to play on it, we see this sometimes in Pittsburgh when the University of Pitt is playing and the Steelers field look like trash. It's like painted dirt at the end. And, they can re-sod it, but it doesn't hold the roots when you're picking it all up, especially late. So I think that's why they do it. The weather is a little bit harsher, not too much harsher than it is in Baltimore. Baltimore gets away with it. But even late in the season, you can see Baltimore has that brown grass that starts to turn, and they only have somebody playing on their turf, 8 times out the year. So every other week or multiple weeks, there's nobody messing up the sod.
It does look great with grass. I'd love for them to figure out a way to. The technology exists where you could actually roll out the field. It could go under the stadium, like you saw in Europe when the Jets played in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They have that.
But how much is that to build that mechanism when you didn't initially build for the infrastructure for that immediately?
The least they could do. The stadium's the worst. Don't get me started on MetLife.
Yeah. But when you think about it, you have those were made with that. The problem is MetLife was designed after all that technology happened. I think Arizona, that technology happened after the Jets. So all these new innovations came out after the Jets had already made their infrastructure. That's why if Woody decides to build the Jets their own stadium and move them back to Long Island, like people have kind of speculated or said.
Good luck with that. They just opted into they had a chance to opt out of the lease a year ago. They didn't.
Right.
You go to Fall Park all the time. They love the practice facility. They've made all the new renovations to the locker room and the fitness area.
That's the issue. The issue is that practice facility, which is the weight room's been renovated for 2 years. So I can't see Woody making that move. That would be a bold move. to say up and build your own stadium. But, man, could you imagine having control of your own stadium?
Oh, I
mean, you look at the Bears.
That's the dream. And that's what Jet fans are dying for.
They're moving to Indiana. Yeah, because we tired of feeling like like it's Giant Stadium, but we share it, but we play equal money.
Yeah, you could say it's MetLife. You could make it gray. Yeah. It doesn't feel like the Jet Stadium. Now, maybe it's also because they haven't won, right? They've never had a playoff game there even, but it's –
But you also can look in the far distance and see the Giants practice facility right there, like from the parking lot. So it's like, yeah, this feels like theirs.
And the Jets, you look around, they're always connected to the Mets because they used to play at Chase Stadium. And there's a soccer stadium being built right next to Citi Field. That should have been where the Jets are playing. Right? Years ago, 2000, you tried to have the lower Manhattan Stadium on the west side, and that obviously got shut down. Dolan and the politicians shut that one down. It's just, I don't think it's ever going to happen, but that is something that I know any longtime Jet fan will say, we need our own stadium.
Yeah, own stadium. And then who cares if the stadium is far? Like, you mean if the practice facility is far, you can still stay there, and it don't matter because the night before the game, you stay at the hotel.
Right. You could do it. You could do it.
Nobody cares, yeah. So maybe we'll get our own stuff.
All right, Asmaniacs, listen up for a second. No matter what you're watching, whether it's New York sports or any game you didn't plan on caring about, there's no better way to stay locked in than with PrizePicks. It's daily fantasy made simple. You're just picking more or less on player projections. That's it. No complicated lineups, no nonsense. Just you versus the numbers. And here's why I love it. Even if it's a game you normally wouldn't care about, once you got a lineup going, you're locked in. Every play matters, every drive matters, every at-bat matters. I've been mixing sports too. Maybe a little football, throw in some baseball, maybe some basketball, and now you've got action across the board all night, and PrizePicks makes it even better with features like early cash outs if your picks are hitting, the ability to mix multiple sports in one lineup, and you can even see what other people are playing and tail their picks. So if you haven't tried it yet, what are you doing? Download the PrizePicks app right now. Use code HMA. That's HMA. And you'll get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, it's HMA on PrizePicks. PrizePicks, where it always feels good to be right.